I'm Colette Ram. I'm the current president of EfCCNa, and I want to say welcome everyone to this very special webinar. And why is it a very special webinar? That's because it's the 25th anniversary of EfCCNa. And it's exactly today, the 25th anniversary of EfCCNa. Because in 1997, the first meeting for establishing EfCCNa was held in Rotterdam. And 2 years later, in 1999, EfCCNa was formally established with 20 European countries. And this took place in Berlin. What are we going to see in this webinar? We're going to get a few presentations, and all are in line with our Congress, which will be held in March 2025 in Bologna. And well, I invite you very much to visit the EfCCNa website and especially the Congress website for more information. And tonight you get already a sneak preview to the topics which will be interesting in the EfCCNa Congress. But today it's the anniversary, as I said, and we invited 5 speakers. And yes, what can I say more? The most important thing is EfCCNa stands for working together, achieving more, and that's what we did the last 25 years and probably the next 25 years with all kind of other people. But for now, I think I will hand over the virtual microphone to Wouter. Wouter is can introduce himself, of course, but he's very close connected to EfCCNa for all those years. He was the first president of EfCCNa.
Yes.
So he was involved all those 25 years, and he's still involved in EfCCNa, and we are really proud to have him here as the moderator. And also Wouter is an EfCCNa fellow, and there are more fellows in EfCCNa, and they have all achieved a lot of things to get this European Federation of Critical Care Nursing Association still going strong. So, Wouter.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Colette, for this introduction. Indeed, I go back a long time. I've been in EfCCNa since 1999. And of course, at that time, it was an organization which needed to be established. From, let's say, I think when I came in EfCCNa, we only had 11 member countries, associations, because there was at that time only possible to have one association per country to be a member. And of course, now there are 33. So it's unbelievable, 25 years, not 20, yeah, let's say 25 years later, we have a massive group of nurses joining each other in the federation. So at that time, a lot of our energy resources, of course, were put there to kind of establish a group to make sure that we were well known in all the other countries, in the countries where people were no members of EfCCNa yet. We tried to, of course, get the network, open a network for new memberships. So there was a lot of energy and resources going in to build the organization. Although, of course, immediately from the beginning, we had to offer things. And so if you only build a network and you have nothing to offer in return to those who become a member, then that's not good. So we had already working on guidelines, scientific collaboration, collecting data. That's where we started with. So for me, Colette, my question to you, can you tell the audience why, in your opinion, as the chair of the board, but also, of course, representative of the EfCCNa Council, EfCCNa is still relevant, and what we need from others today?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Thank you, Wouter. And why is EFCNA still relevant? I think working together, achieving more is our motto, but also something we need to do on several topics. In all European countries, or most of the European countries, we have a lack of staff, shortage in nurses. That's something. That's a topic where we talk a lot, talk about a lot in our council meetings. How can we help each other? What can we learn from each other to solve this problem? And it's a big problem, but it's good to realize that you're not alone in your country fighting this topic. And that's also for clinical practice. Clinical practice is also very important to learn from each other and to share knowledge. So that's something we still work on. And I'll go back to 2010 when I first had my council meeting, and these topics were relevant then, but still relevant. So we share knowledge, we try to solve problems, but we can't solve them all as we know now. What we use to share knowledge also is an exchange program, and Jelena will talk more about that later in this webinar. And an exchange program is an excellent way to go to another hospital in another country and see how your colleagues are working bedside and what kind of things you can learn from them. We have also had some e-learnings, and one of the special one was the multicultural issues on an ICU. All this information which I'm sharing with you now, and you as audience, of course, you can see and read about on our website. So again, visit the website if you have the time. But another thing is we work together on safety, sharing knowledge, what I said, and most important parts now are how are we going to be sustainable for the future? Because sustainability is a very hot topic these days. So also in EFCCNa, and we have a working group on this topic. But also important is the AI, the artificial intelligence, which is
Wow.
introduced in our practice already. And Louise Rose, also a speaker, will tell you more about these topics. And research, of course. Research is also a big part of EFCCNa. We do our own research, but we also are, the research group is also collaborating with colleagues all over the world, not only in the European section, but all over the world. And there's a special group, clinical practice of the clinical scientists, doctors, who are sharing their knowledge with us and trying to get EFCCNa on the map when it comes to research.
Wow. Well, just being together with my EFCCNa colleagues, with my intensive care nurses, it always makes me proud. It's if I hear you telling the audience what EFCCNa is doing at the moment, I can tell you that I don't know which of you attended the former webinar, which was about the sustainability. I was blown away, really, and it's the the thorough way the committee who is responsibility for this topic within the EFCCNa Council and working together with clinical researchers and nurses all over Europe had a really interesting presentation about what we as intensive care nurses can do for our global health and global climate. And
Yes.
so absolutely, it made me proud. I was blown away. I do realize that the webinar, which was recorded then, is still not available on YouTube, because I got the question of Irene to work on that, and I'll make sure that within a certain amount of time, the former webinar is also available on YouTube, so that those who are searching for information about sustainability in our workspace, as well as those who are interested to know what's the main topic for our next conference in Bologna, that they have the opportunity to watch the webinar.
Yes.
So
I invite all of you. There are, as I said, 34 European countries member of EfCCNa, but still that's not the whole European society. So if there are countries which you have contact with and they're not still thinking about getting a member of EfCCNa, invite them to one of the council meetings. We have twice a year a council meeting somewhere in Europe. And the upcoming one is in October in Sweden. And the next one is in April 2025 in London. But we meet twice a year, and make sure that if there are colleagues who want to be with us in a council meeting, that's always possible. You can always bring an observer to the council meetings. And you're proud, I'm proud too. I'm proud that I'm being the current president for now. And I must say, I get always a lot of energy from the council meetings, being together, being with all our colleagues all over Europe. And we call it the EfCCNa family, and that's something you might use as well, Wouter, in your...
So we are here in the EfCCNa family. Thank you, Colette. I think it's time to move on with the webinar itself. We do have something to challenge. There's a challenging thing at the moment because Rosa has a difficulty to attend due to her Zoom account, which is not working. So we're working on that. And Nick, who is our moderator for the last 3 webinars, and very happy to work with him today again. So I would like to ask Nick to start the presentation of Margot van Mol from the Netherlands about sustainability in the workforce and how to retain critical care nurses in their profession. He suggested himself. I can't see him here, so hopefully he can start the presentation. Yes.